Welcome back to another edition of 2020 Vision. This week we're joined by Carrie Campbell. She is the Senior Vice President at Fenway Park Events and the Boston Red Sox. Carrie, how are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you, TK. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. Hanging in there. How are you doing and how is your team? And I don't mean the team on the field. I mean like your events team. How are you guys holding up?
Yeah, we're doing okay. We're busy working with our clients who were scheduled for 2020, trying to look at the fall, Q4, to see if there's any way to reschedule some things and taking a look ahead to 2021. We're very fortunate. Our leadership team has kept everyone in the front office full time. So we're all busy and working, both on our day jobs, selling and servicing, but also working on a lot of projects that sort of took the back burner that weren't urgent, but are important. One lesson that I've learned is that we definitely should have had a virtual site tour of Fenway Park before now. So that is a high priority. We've got all the building blocks. Now we just need to get a video team in there so that we can have a virtual site tour. Yeah.
As a former concessions vendor, I feel like I've stepped on every step in that ballpark and could map it out, but I'll leave it to the pros. Major League Baseball games, I mean, these games are major events in and of themselves. I mean, thousands of people, live programming, a million logistics. In a normal year, you would have at least 81 of them, hopefully. When baseball first returns, if you want a crystal ball for me, how will the fan experience change?
Well, we're hopeful, and certainly all of our efforts are being put into making sure that we can bring live baseball back this year in 2020. Certainly, if we are able to do that, it will be fanless at the beginning. And then as we get into the season, perhaps postseason, we could welcome some fans in. It won't be 39,000 people. It'll be whatever the CDC and the state and the city will allow. But we are actively working on entry and exit plans to keep people safe. Obviously, multiple points of hand sanitizer, ordering masks for folks who arrive with no mask on, readdressing how we're going to do security checks in a socially distant way, and sort of a little bit with a blindfold on because there's not a ton of guidance yet. And we know that just means that we need to put something in place and then pivot when the specific guidelines come out. But I think it'll be very different. I think everything's going to be very different at the beginning. Your experience in the airport, your experience at a theater performance, and hopefully when we're able to welcome our fans back to Fenway, they'll feel safe and confident that we're looking after those things for them. And hopefully we can bring back the game soon. Yeah.
Well, we hope so. As it relates to the non-baseball events, which you oversee at Fenway Park, what sort of procedures would you be putting into place as we return to normal? I'm sure you've given this a lot of thought.
Yes, absolutely. We're hopeful that if we're able to play fanless baseball, that when the team is away, we can start to welcome people to Fenway. Same thing. We're working on entry and exit, keeping that safe. Restroom, how to manage the restrooms. Things like we do a lot of nonprofit events. So what does a silent auction look like if you've got 7 or 8 items on a table and we need to be 6 feet apart? So it's a lot of collaboration. It's a lot of being open-minded. We've taken all of our floor plan software and redesigned it with the guidelines that we think we know, 6 feet apart, no more than 6 people at a table for the restaurant industry. So we're hoping that follows suit for the private events industry. We're still not sure which phase we're going to be in. Hopefully phase 3 for private event spaces and venues and cultural venues around the city. Our first priority is making people feel safe and making sure that we're doing all of the protocols to ensure the safety of our guests coming to Fenway. And we do feel that at the beginning, it's probably going to be regional, smaller gatherings. I think the days for now of, 8,000 people coming for a, welcome night to a convention that's in town, when we can see that the conventions are slowly shifting their dates, that those days are over for now. But I do think that our focus has really been on smaller groups and how to get them in and out of the ballpark safely and ensure the experience while they're with us.
I imagine that you have to part with the buffet self-service stations at first.
Yeah, food and beverage is a whole new, bad pun, ball game. Yeah, a lot of prepackaged things, and yeah, no buffets
Right.
in the short term for sure. Lots of plated, lots of grab and go in a container that's been packed with safety in mind, and cutlery that's packaged, and all the things, menus that are disposable, those types of things. Yeah. So
what sort of advice, I mean, as you navigate all this, you guys have done a lot of homework obviously on this, but what advice would you be giving for event planners or event venues for managing the months ahead? I mean, you just rattled off a bunch of great ideas, but are there other bits of wisdom you'd want to share with event people?
I think being patient is going to be really important. I think there will be a day where we gather again. People in society want to be together. They want to meet face to face. They want to celebrate together. They want to meet together. So I do really believe that we will turn the corner. It's just going to take longer than any of us want. I think we need to be willing to try new things on both sides, on the client side and on the venue side. We need to listen and collaborate. I think we have to throw away our policies and procedures and start new. And I think from a place of how can we make this work for you? Because we can put all the protocols we want together, but then, a corporation might have their own guidelines that they've got to, take it a step further. And we at the venue need to be understanding and open to accommodating that. And I would love our clients, our planners, to be open to, hey, this is an idea. This is something we tried. We've done it 3 times successfully. This flow really works. Would you give it a shot? I also think we need to be open and willing to find that we're going to start this way. And we might say halfway through the planning process, ooh, that's not going to work. We just learned X, Y, and Z. So we have to pivot and not be like, that's not the contract you signed, or that's not what we talked about. This is a time of, I think, where we have to be fluid and flexible and nimble and caring and understanding, and keeping in mind, again, on both sides, client side and service side, we're all going through a lot. And so sometimes there may be some anxious feeling that has nothing to do with the conversation that's happening, and just giving people a little grace that they might be going through some things. So I also will just put in a plug for the difference between a hybrid event and a virtual event. It's my hope that not everything just goes virtual. It's my hope that we'll slowly start to go hybrid, where we have people meeting in person, and then we're doing virtual for those who can't come for whatever reason, not ready from a confidence standpoint. Company won't let them fly in, capacity won't allow it.
Right.
But I'm really hopeful, and there's tons of education out there and technology companies putting out new products for us to do hybrid. So I'm really hopeful that we can start with hybrid.
Yeah, we echo you on that. Speaking of virtual stuff, you guys just did a concert recently with the Dropkick Murphys on the infield and Bruce Springsteen on the jumbotron. That was cool.
Yes, cool. We call it a performance, TK, not a concert.
Good, correct. Good point.
But yes, it was a huge undertaking. My team did not handle that. I give all the credit to Red Sox Productions and Fan Services. They worked with the Dropkicks and a couple of technology partners to bring Fenway Park into our living rooms, which I think was a delight and a surprise, and for a great cause. It was all to raise funds for 3 very good causes. And it proved, I think, to our organization that we can safely execute something for our fan base. So I'm hopeful that we'll see more content like that.
Yeah, me too. What are you missing the most here? And what are you most excited to resume once we get back to normal?
I'm missing people. I'm missing, being in community with people. I think Zoom I'm so thankful for forums like this, so we can at least interact and see each other. But I miss being with people. I miss collaborating. I miss site tours. I miss going to industry events. I miss working events. And I think that's one thing I'm most looking forward to. But I'm also looking forward to all of the positive changes that will come from this. Things that we're putting into place that, like I said at the beginning, were on the back burner. Just the opportunity to lead through the change and, lead me, myself personally, but also Fenway Park events, to be a leader in the industry through this time, this transition time, to deliver safe events and start to be a part of the fabric of certainly the Boston community, but the events community, to be able to start moving forward into whatever it's going to be, because it's definitely not going back to normal.
So many of us have looked to the organization, the Red Sox, for many years to lead us, to show us the way, to be there and be a guiding light for us, I think, through anything. And we're looking forward to bringing that back, not just with players on the field, but with people in the seats. So
yes,
echo that we can't wait. We can't wait. Yeah. All right, Carrie Campbell, Senior Vice President of Fenway Park Events, Boston Red Sox. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CK. Take care. Hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon too. Make it happen.